This is just a sample of our audio from the Jim Nolan series. We would like to thank Alexa Chipman for our posters and Mike Murphy for writing the Jim Nolan Private Eye episodes. You can find them all at MisfitsAudio.com. That's MisfitsAudio.com. May we suggest you start at episode 1. This is Captain John Tadrzak, CEO of Misfits Audio Production Company. Thank you.
Nolan Investigations. I run that Boston-based detective agency that my dad started many years ago. Now that Dad is retired, it's up to me, and my mom Gladys, to keep this place in the black. I've seen a lot of strange things in my time here, and I never know what the next knock on the office door is going to bring. I'm Jim Nolan, Private Eye.
Misfits Audio presents Episode 20 of Jim Nolan, Private Eye, Fear Itself.
This is a WIXO special report. Here is news anchor Sharon Waters.
Good afternoon. We're interrupting our regular programming to bring you coverage of a police news conference concerning the disappearance of noted Boston attorney Charles Bascom. We take you now to police headquarters.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lieutenant Walter Carmichael. I will be leading the investigation into the disappearance of Mr. Charles Bascom. Here are the facts as we have them. Mr. Bascom, a partner in the law firm of Whitney, Eggleston, and Bascom, was last seen leaving his office at 216 Berkeley Street at approximately 11:25 a.m. yesterday. According to his secretary, Rhonda Lewis, he was heading to a partner's lunch at the Seaside Restaurant. When he didn't arrive and their efforts to locate him failed, his fellow partners contacted the police.
Lieutenant, has the family been contacted by Mr. Bascom's kidnappers?
You're Childress, right?
That's right, Joe Childress, Boston Examiner.
Who said anything about a kidnapping, Mr. Childress?
Well, come on, since Mr. Bascom hasn't been seen in 24 hours, a reasonable person would assume...
The PD doesn't deal in assumptions, just facts. Let me make this very clear, everyone. At the moment, we have no indication whatsoever that Mr. Bascom's disappearance is due to a kidnapping.
What else could it be?
I refuse to speculate. In the meantime, Mr. Childress, I suggest you keep your guesswork to your column. During the investigation, we will do our best to give you a daily briefing at this time and place. If I'm available, I'll be here. That's all for now.
Hold on, Lieutenant. Wait a second.
Answer this.
You've been watching a police news conference on the disappearance of Boston attorney Charles Bascom. We'll have a full report on the evening news at 6 p.m. and breaking news as it happens. Back in January, Mr. Bascom was a guest on our Sunday morning program, Legally Speaking. Here's a clip from that interview.
I guess you could say I always wanted to be an attorney. My mother tells me that even at a very young age, I would try to mitigate disputes between children at the playground. If that doesn't indicate a born lawyer, I don't know what does.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
Please, don't do
do this. I'll give you anything you want. Anything. Stop it. You're killing me.
What is happening to Charles Bascom? He sounds afraid for his very life. Perhaps Joe Childress is correct. It certainly sounds like Mr. Bascom has been kidnapped and is under extreme duress. When we return, we'll follow Lieutenant Carmichael to the office of a certain private detective as he investigates Mr. Bascom's disappearance in Misfits Audio's 20th Jim Nolan Private Eye mystery, Fear Itself.
Walter, you're back.
Good to see you, Lieutenant.
How was Florida?
Enlightening.
I've never heard anyone describe the Sunshine State with that word before.
How was it, enlightening?
It showed me that I'm not ready to retire.
And how'd it do that?
Have you ever been there?
Not for years. I've been trying to convince Albert that we should retire down there.
Don't do it.
Why not?
It's nice. Don't get me wrong. Sunshine certainly beats shoveling snow. But the people I met, oh, the people.
What about them?
Most of them aren't doing a damn thing. It's like they're wandering around in a fog waiting to die. You can only play so much shuffleboard, and I hate bingo!
I'm sorry to hear that your vacation was a bust.
It wasn't. I'm glad I went. It showed me what I don't want to do. I've been this way and that way on retiring for years. These knees of mine aren't what they once were. Now I know I'm going to keep working. I can't live like those people I saw. I'd go nuts. I still have lots to contribute to the city. I'm a good cop.
You certainly are. Well, I'm relieved.
Me too. Congratulations, Walter.
Thanks. I heard you two had a little run-in with my, understudy.
Oh, we sure did.
What will happen to Lieutenant Wagner now that you're not retiring?
I can't concern myself with that. All I know is that I'm staying right where I am. If Kate Wagner tries to step on me to get ahead, I'll step right back.
Starring our regular cast, Russell Gold as Jim Nolan, Kim Giannopoulos as Gladys Nolan, Brian Bedard as Lieutenant Carmichael, and Katie Daynard as the narrator. Guest starring in this episode, in order of appearance, were Lampros Leontos as the studio announcer, Lisa Lynn as Sharon Waters, John Specht as Joe Childress, Scott Fortney as Charles Bascom, Elise Krog as Rhonda Lewis, Peter Bishop as Mr. Whitney, Dave Morgan as Sergeant McManus, Ted Wenskus as Sean, Melissa Exelberth as Hilda Bascom, Laura Bednarski as the secretary, Peter Catt as Paul Irwin, Daniel Krempa as the clerk, and Rebecca Thomas as Mary. Jim Nolan Private Eye was created by Mike Murphy and Arlene Osborne. The script was written by Mike Murphy. The Jim Nolan Private Eye theme was composed and performed by Vivian Dosco. Please hear more of her wonderful music at myspace.com/Vivian Dosco. That's VIVIANDOSKOW. Producer, Captain John Tadrzak. Assistant producer, Mike Murphy. Mixer, John Specht. Script editor, Arlene Osborne. Webmaster, April Sadowski. Art director, Alexa Chipman. Thanks to Captain John Tadrzak of Misfits Audio for airing this show. Mike Murphy gratefully acknowledges the continued help of Arlene Osborne. All the characters portrayed in this story are fictitious. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. Please visit us on the web at MisfitsAudio.com and on Facebook. This production is for enjoyment purposes only. I'm your narrator, Katie Daynard. This is an original production by Misfits Audio. Copyright 2013. All rights reserved.
Remember, if you want to hear more of Misfits Audio's Jim Nolan Private Eye, please go to MisfitsAudio.com. MisfitsAudio.com. Thank you.